Stress. We've all dealt with it and it is no fun. It is especially no fun when it has become a way of life. You see, again, I've said this before, we're these divine beings in this funky body that has all this weird physiology that's happening. And we're in these bodies that were designed a long, long time ago and designed with safety and survival in mind. So we have something called the fight or flight mode. And basically it is when you perceive something that is a threat to your life, that you are going to have stress hormones and chemicals coursing through your body to help you get the heck out of where you are in order to survive. I mean, way back when a woolly mammoth was chasing you, you needed to be able to get out of Dodge. Now, what would happen is what happens when we go into fight or flight mode is our perception narrows. We only see what's in front of us in our environment, and we are in no way focused on or able to focus on what's happening on the inside. It's not a time for growth and repair. It's a time for focus and taking care of business to make sure that we are protected. Now, the funny thing with us human beings is, this will happen with a gazelle. There's a gazelle out in the woods and it's chased, and again, it will narrow its perception. It will be able to manipulate and work with its environment, and it will get out of Dodge, and within a few minutes it is back to grazing and fine once it knows it is safe. The funny thing about us human beings is we can have a perceived threat that really has absolutely nothing to do with death and survival. Absolutely nothing. And we get those stress chemicals going throughout us, and we keep it going. We don't wait just 5 minutes and then it dies down. We keep repeating it and telling the same story and bringing up those chemicals again. Think about a time that you were really, really angry with somebody or upset about something that had happened, whether you got cut off in traffic and almost had an accident, or some coworker did you wrong, and you continually tell the story. And as you're telling the story, I don't know, it could be for the 150th time to somebody new, and here you are feeling those same feelings and all those chemicals are coming back up again. That is no way to live. Yet we do it over and over again. I am so guilty of doing that in the past. And it just keeps the chemicals, the stress chemicals, going throughout your body. And if that's happening, then you have no time for rest and repair and for growth and going inside and learning about yourself, because you are so focused on survival. How many of you have done this before? Oh, I've been so stuck there before, where I just feel like I am doggy paddling, trying to keep my head up, trying to breathe. Whew, that is an exhausting way to live. And nobody has to live like that. It just takes some changes, some awareness, understanding physiologically what's happening in the body so you can make those changes and bring it down. Get your parasympathetic nervous system up and running so that way you've got your rest and digest nervous system in place. Have you ever thought about how when you're stressed out, you don't sleep well? How can you? How can you sleep well when you're so focused on the environment and focused on perceived protection, needing protection from something. There's no way you can get the rest that you need with those stress chemicals coursing through your veins. Also happens with digestion. How many times has that happened where either you are overeating due to stress, or maybe even eating the same amount but gaining weight because your digestive chemicals aren't going, because you have the stress chemicals going instead. So stress, whew, I promise you, there is a whole other way to live. I used to be the biggest stress case. I used to be late to things all the time, running out the door, grabbing everything, driving through traffic all crazed, getting to work, crazy, bring on more and more and more stress. I finally just said, time out. I can't do this anymore. And I took a gigantic leap, left my profession, started doing this as a profession, and working through my own stuff, my own journey of letting go of things that don't serve me, and then sharing along the way with others on how they can do it too. Now, it doesn't necessarily take a big, huge leap like fully leaving your job and your whole life behind. Little changes can make a huge difference. I mean, I mentioned to you before about always being late to work. So I started out my morning in the most horrendous, uncomfortable way where I just had stress first thing in the morning, and that set the tone for my day. So I learned how to give myself a little more time. It was so hard to do, but give myself a little more time. That way I no longer had that chemical going. And truthfully, we can become addicted to stress. It's a chemical within us, and if we're used to always having it, when we don't have it, we create things. Have you ever caught yourself creating drama somewhere? It's crazy, but it's like getting a hit. It's like getting a hit because, wait, your body doesn't even know what to do because it's been stressed for so long that, okay, we need something going on, so let's create something. And then boom, you're stressed again, and then you can go and tell your coworkers and your friends and your family all about this thing that happened to you and create it all again. This cycle can be broken. You can have a truly peaceful, grounded experience that's full of joy, that's full of personal growth, learning, and it's just so much more magical and so much healthier. You see, those stress chemicals are meant for short term, meant to keep us safe. But so many of us are living our lives daily under stress. So those chemicals are constantly going throughout our body, chemicals that are not meant to be there long term. Think of all the health effects this has. You deserve better than that. We deserve to treat our bodies and our lives much better than that. And there is a different way you can live. Who here is ready to get rid of stress?